Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Friday SitRep. We're changing gears here a little bit, starting to roll with some 1941 pre-orders. But don't worry, we also have a new figure for Desert Storm Month. A lot going on. We got a new release that still has some stock on Brickmania.com, which that hasn't been happening a lot recently.
Absolutely.
When something goes on pre-order, it hasn't even survived the morning recently. So it's been exciting. We've been trying to do as much as we can to make those badges available quickly now, following back into the restock line. We already posted up some stuff about the F-117 and stuff coming back, but that is the AAV
Land ship.
7A1.
It is absolutely, yeah. This thing looks so sci-fi to me. I think we've talked about this before, but I mean, it's just got like a turret on top. I don't know. This thing just looks awesome. Mm-hmm. Really cool.
Yeah, it's cool in tan. I love the helmets, the crew, everything that goes with it. Fully printed model, no stickers on it. And definitely, like you said, a crazy, unique vehicle.
Yeah. We can go more over the crew maybe later in the episode.
Sure. Yeah, let's start with the new stuff. We got the new pre-orders. So we'll start small and go big. So you guys know that ASAP Animation Andreas has been working with us a little bit doing some models. This is the second one now that he has put together for Brickmania. This is oh my gosh, I almost rolled it right off the table.
Smash.
But this is a German radio car, Africa Core. Just a cool little build. He did a great job on the front end, some of the details in there. I'm not 100% sure of what that printing will look like, etc. once it's done, but the final renders are up on the website, so go check it out there.
Yeah, there's some interesting, so there's two figures that come with that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those are still being printed. I finished up the artwork for that last week. There's also an all-new 3D printed element in this kit, and it's that German D2 backpack radio as well. So that's
sweet.
That's going to be an awesome addition. Kind of been on our wish list for 3D printed elements for quite a while, and so there's a radio in the back there. That's the more powerful, I think, B1 model. I think I'm not 100% positive. They'll be printing on that radio in the back. But then there's also a standalone backpack radio that'll be with the minifigures.
So you get kind of like a driver and a radio operator minifig going on
Something
there?
Like that,
How freaking cool is that, guys? I mean, holy smokes, that's awesome.
So that was some cool requests by Andreas there for that.
Yeah, he's done a good job at kind of carrying on the Brickmania spirit of continuing to push the envelope and say, well, if it hasn't been done yet, why not?
Right.
Which is really cool, and it's fun to see it come together. So who knows, maybe we'll graduate to some larger stuff as we move up. But I like the little trucks too. That MB240 was excellent, very well done. Okay, so moving on then, we have the latest offering from Mary Wilson. This is the Carro Armato, which is in a World War II Italian medium tank, like I said, kind of switching over into the 1941 theme here. So this is a cool little prototype, gonna have some printing, etc. going on with this bad boy. I love it's a small tank, but there's a lot going on to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With everything you have going up here, with just kind of the way the hatch or the turret is designed, and then what she's done, kind of adding some of those details to the engine and on the back. There's just kind of a lot going on here. I can see this coming together as a really fun build, and then it's nice and solid. So
Sure.
once you have it all done and built up, you can play with it.
Nice.
Sorry, Andrea. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. It is a tank after all, but yeah, it's really solid.
And that's another one. Obviously, comes with a minifigure. The one I designed for him is going to have this nice black leather, kind of a trench coat, not quite a trench coat, longer coat, with a bit of color shifting, playing around with shadows, a little bit on that artwork. I'm loving the old school Lego Star Wars Imperial pilot helmet that is on this minifigure.
Sure.
In real life, the Italian helmet looks just like that, or rather, the Star Wars helmet looks strikingly
like the Italian one,
an Italian World War II tanker helmet. So that's pretty awesome. Right?
Mustache?
No.
Oh.
No mustache this time.
Well,
Goggles.
goggles. Fair enough. We'll take
No,
what we can
no
get.
mustache. Not all Italians have mustaches.
The last Italian tanker had an awesome one,
Definitely.
so I figured I'd ask. But he was modern too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. The World War II one with the awesome. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about helmet-wise.
Sure.
That'll be a fun minifig to go with it. So that is the lineup of pre-orders available right now, brickmania.com. We also have a new minifigure for Desert Storm, the Marines.
Bam. Very, very similar to the U.S. Army, and there's good reason for that. They were drawing from the same kind of supply pool. From what I was reading, a lot of the guys were sent over even before their gear was sent with them, and then the gear arrived later. Again, drawing from the similar supply pools, there's some unique gear that the Marines might have gotten. which I've included in this crew, and I can go over that later in the episode. This guy, he's very sparse loadout, just pretty much the 6-color desert uniform. I didn't even include any armor vest on him at all. So I wanted a nice pared down Desert Storm themed minifigure. He's got those leather boots on, terrible in the desert, terrible, just super hot weather. The other option was the jungle boots, but the sand got in. This was before a good desert boot was like widely available. So just an interesting kind of cobbled together uniform that they appear to be working with there. This particular guy is sort of maybe prepared for a dust storm of some sort, so he's got that face covering going on. I got new artwork for that. It's a little more subdued than previous sort of balaclava offerings that we've done. And it's like a nice little subtle face covering, I think. So maybe we've had some inspiration from being in masks so long. So I'm like, that's how a face covering works. So
when I saw the face, the first thing that came to mind for me is, you see from the first Gulf War and then War on Terror moving on, it's just the convoy, and the Humvees and everything are rolling through, and they've got them. They're just like hanging out the side or up on the machine. They always have those face mask coverings on because they're driving through the super dusty road or whatever. Right. And so the second I saw that image, I was like, wow, that's like iconic. I mean, you've just seen that everywhere.
I've been pouring through just source imagery. I guess that Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I hadn't really looked super deeply into it. But there's so many just cool photos. It's not this grandiose long-term war like we're kind of used to looking at with previous battles, but relatively short conflict here. But it's decently well documented for its time. You have a lot more modern camera equipment and really cool photographs we're going over. Drew actually took a really beautiful photograph of this guy that we have kind of up as our promo shot. That was fun watching.
The action shot.
So yeah, we were going back and forth. I was sending him source imagery, and he's trying to kind of capture that in that Lego feel. So I think hopefully this figure represents a lot of those images as well. Shown here with the standalone M16 grenade launcher, perfect caliber. So make sure to pick up one of those as well.
Yeah, got to have the perfect caliber accompaniment with these minifigs because the detail in both of them just really pops.
Yeah.
That's an awesome addition. You've been killing it. All the way through January. Now we're rolling on into Desert Storm month, and we've got new minifigs almost every Friday, except for the ones that there's maybe a couple of really intense, model-heavy ones.
Sometimes two.
Yeah. Sometimes there's two.
Sometimes there has been.
It's been a lot. No, it's true. So Royal Marines are up next, right?
Yeah, and those are going to be interesting. So it was. My objective was to create the most 90s possible looking dude, British dude, and it turned out cool.
Sweet.
90s awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. Some cool caricature in there, I suppose. How do you pack a decade into a face?
I think this might be it.
You think this might be it? Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited for that. Royal Marines next Friday. Make sure to stay tuned for that. But we got these Marines this Friday, provided there's any left. That's another thing too. Is like, my goodness. Our restock list of stuff that people want to get back because the figure's sold out in 20 minutes, it just keeps growing because every new figure is just moving and moving. And so it's like, man, for some of these restocks, we're going to do the best we can, but our library of and then people are still like, when's the Filthy 13 coming back?
Someday.
When will we ever have room?
We're trying our best.
And we'll get there. Just the fact that we're able to offer these new figures themed with the month almost every week speaks to the streamlined printing process and just the fact that we, like to abuse you as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I signed up for this.
Well, I think the content speaks for itself and people are thrilled with it. I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about?
Is that it for the episode? Is it it? I can go over the crew quick here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little AAV.
A nice little extended content here. I really like, I love desert chocolate chip camo. Here, let's get those guys laid out here. I actually brought in, this is just, whoops.
I ain't picking that
Desert chocolate, I knocked everybody down. This is just not going well. Not the best recreation of desert camo here, but you can kind of see in real life, the actual camo, this would be a lot more white comparatively, but it is kind of cool seeing the different This is just a reproduction of that Desert Storm camo. I just
It
have
is
this
so
in.
chocolate chippy, isn't it?
Chocolate chippy. Looks
That's
delicious.
just the perfect way to describe that
This
camouflage.
crew is cool. They're wearing that that Pasget body armor, and what I found out later is that it's not necessarily made in this Desert 6 color. It's actually this like really loosely fitting vest that covers the vest. So there is actually like this woodland camo body armor underneath of this body armor in here, but then they covered it with like a little infield cover. So it looks really oddly fitting in real life because it's not perfectly tailored. Like nowadays, all of our gear is so precisely fitting. It's sort of, they're on the right track with like getting this nice camouflage going on, and like, you know, all the gear is made with a purpose. Whereas like, you know, World War II, we were like issued ties, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's like, wear your tie into battle. But now it's like, this is definitely the transition into like, I think like like World War II and then Vietnam really nailed it in with that like tactical gear. And then this is sort of the further evolution of that.
Yeah, so, right. Not so much like the show soldiers, but something that's a little more utilized.
We need everything here to work perfectly. I love these helmets, 3D printed. We're going to try and get these in as many releases as we can. So, you know, pending how fast we can produce them. So, yeah, overall, I mean, this is just right off the bat, just a cool crew for this beast right here.
Yeah, it's a kind of a new direction with that headgear.
Oh, and these freaking sunglasses.
Yeah.
So those are like historically, the 90s was like the pinnacle of sunglasses, man. Late 80s, 90s. This is very prominently featured in some A-list movies. And with some androids wearing them, right? So those are the sunglasses.
Wink, wink.
Those are the sunglasses. Extra gloss printing on those to make them super shiny. Yeah, cool theme. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's a sweet model, cool crew. Thanks for going over that.
Yeah.
Some interesting stuff. Once again, pre-orders 1941 available online right now. Maybe a couple of Marines left, we'll see. Otherwise, we're back on Monday with some cool stuff to go over, and we'll see you then.